All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachaha. God's double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessing to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect, Shalom, Barakathum. And this image on the screen that you see here is pretty much going to be indicative of the topic that we're going to discuss. And this won't be too long. We know what time it is. It's the November the 4th, 2024. And November the 5th is the general election of the United States, where you have Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. And if you've been following the news and been tracking things that have been going on all throughout the year, you know that it's been a complete mess. Okay, unprecedented mess. Okay, I've never seen a candidate get 3 attempts on his life, okay, in succession, in quick succession, okay, basically within the span of a few months. I believe the first one was July and the third one was like a couple of weeks ago. And never have you seen them swap out a candidate from the primary, all right, and nominate her without any votes. Okay, Joe Biden got 14 million votes in the rigged primary. I shouldn't say that word because Esau's listening. But he got 14 million votes though. All right, she got 0 votes. Okay, yet here she is. So everything that's been leading up to this point has caused a lot of tension. It's caused a lot of division. And ultimately, this whole process is witchcraft. And the starting off with that is, well, first I'll get a precept just to keep this thing in the spirit about what you're doing. Okay, when you do vote, you're basically setting up a king over you because there is no democracy. All right, y'all aren't gonna get together and vote and say, well, we want lower taxes. They're gonna look at you and say, no, you got to pay the taxes, and then you'll find out very quickly that the power that they said that you had, you really don't have it. You forfeited your rights the moment you vested power into these individuals through the Constitution. Okay, but this is Deuteronomy 17:14. It says, when thou art come into the land which the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh shall give it thee, and thou shalt possess it. Okay, giving us when we got in the land, we had rules. All right. And these laws apply to forever, okay? They apply, they're not temporary, okay? Like some Christians would say, we don't have to keep that no more. We don't have to, well, yeah, you do, but the Lord has grace for particular ones, all right? And ultimately, you have to be in the spirit of obedience and the spirit of contrition, all right? But it says, and it says, I was just talking from the beginning. When thou art come into the land which the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh shall give it thee, and shalt possess it, and shalt dwell therein, and shalt say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. All right, because we had this infatuation of being having the same system of government that the other nations had. They wanted a king, somebody they can rally behind, a popular figure. All right, and if you know anything about the period of time where we came out of Egypt, before we got our first king, King Saul, we had a period called the Judges, where it was basically the patriarchs ruled the respective tribes and houses. Okay, there was order in that sense, but when it came to leading everybody, all tribes, they would nominate a king, especially in times of a war. We would get hell put on us by a foreign nation like an Ammonite or a Midianite or whoever, and then we would anoint a king, judge, if you will, and he would basically handle that matter. All right, similar to what Rome would do. Rome would nominate people like consulates, I believe they called them, to basically run Rome, to quell the threat of a foreign adversary. Okay, but we wanted a king, a dynasty that passes down from lineage to lineage to lineage. Okay, and this is what the scriptures go into. Okay, and y'all are going to demand the same thing out of America pretty soon. When all hell breaks loose here, y'all are going to demand a strong leader, and Esau's going to be like, no problem, okay? But he's going to be a cruel Lord, which I'll get in a second, okay? It says, going down, verse 15, thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai shall choose. And then nobody in America is chosen by the Most High to lead us, okay? As a whole nation. No, the Lord didn't choose anybody. The Lord is going to pull out the elect and straight up destroy this place. Now, we're all organized through camps, and there's order there, okay? But it's simply for the purpose of doing the work, all right? It says, from one from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. In NLT on the right, it says, if this happens, be sure to select the king, select as king the man the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai chooses. You must appoint a fellow Israelite. He may not be a foreigner, okay? And Donald Trump is not an Israelite, okay? And Kamala Harris could be, you know, but her lineage, you know, is all convoluted. She may be one of those wicked nigger woman, you know, from back in the day, you know. You have plenty of examples of wicked Israelite women in the ancient world. Okay, all right. So there you go. So this thing right here that's on the screen right now, all right. This is a big no-no. All right. Now I want to get the etymology of the word. Put it here in the chat. GPT. All right. I just put in vote etymology. The word vote comes from the Latin word votum. All right, which means vow, wish, promise to a deity. Okay, you making a promise to a deity. That's what the word votum means. Okay, so when you read, I believe it's Numbers, where the woman, the young woman that has a father, who makes a vow without her father's permission. See, not the Nazarite. Yeah, it's Numbers 30. Yep. Now, Numbers 30 and 2, it says, if a man vow a vow unto the Lord Yahweh, okay, because that's where vows go. It goes to a deity, and right, and vow is synonymous with the word vote. Okay, so when you vote, and that you're not voting, you're not making a vow to the Most High when you in the goddamn election booth. Okay, all right. It says, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word, nor he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth. All right. And so what a vow simply is, or what a vote simply is, it's an irrevocable consent. Okay, once you give a vow, that's it. When you vote for a president, you know, in America, and then 2 months in he's doing something you don't like, you can't go back and say, oh well, I'll take my vote back. No, you already cast your vote. It's irrevocable. Okay, and that's what a vow is. Okay, it's something it's something you agree to do. It's a vote of confidence. It's a measure of consent that's irrevocable. Okay, and that's why it says he shall not break his word. Okay, and it says verse 3, if a woman also vow a vow to the Lord Yahweh and bind herself by a bond, okay, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow and her bond wherewith she hath bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then vow shall stand, and every bond wherewith she hath bound her soul shall stand. Okay, so this basically proves that, you know, in terms of women, all right, this thing right here, all right, where you can see the V here and the T here, what that represents, right? The O represents niggas, and and the E represents Issachar climbing over the gate, the border. Um, you know, uh, basically that you don't really have that right inherently. All right, unless your father okays it. Okay, then your vow or your vote matters. Okay, according to the scriptures. All right, and most people don't realize this. I'm gonna read this again from the vote meaning in the chat GPT here. All right, it says the word vote comes from the Latin word votum, which means a vow, a wish, or a promise to a deity. It originally referred to a solemn promise or a wish, particularly in a religious or spiritual context. All right, in the Middle Ages, votum evolved in medieval Latin to also mean a vow or choice made by an individual. All right, and so the Lord is not just going to ignore that. Okay, you could be reading the precepts, you could be not eating, you could not be eating pork, you could be, wearing fringes, whatever you did. But if you got, look, the Lord wants somebody spotless, man. If you got in your mind that you can make a vow to somebody that ain't the Most High, all right, or a fellow brother that is that also is following the Most High, all right, then you're out of your mind. Okay, you're out of your mind. So this is the origin of it. Okay, you're making a vow. All right. Now, what does it say in Exodus? I believe it's 5:21 or 21:5. Maybe it's Exodus 21. I'm getting dyslexic now. Yeah. Exodus 21:5, and it says, and if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. All right, meaning you were in bondage to a man, all right, because you owed a debt or whatever the case may be, all right, and you became a slave or a servant to that man. It says, then his master shall bring him, verse 6, then his master shall bring him unto the judges, all right, and he shall also bring him to the door or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. All right, and this is essentially what you're doing when you worship this, man. You worship the image, man. You say you're proud to be an American. That's worship of the image, man. All right, when you go out there and vote, you're making a vow to these individuals, and you're making them your master, which the scriptures say you should not put any man that's not an Israelite over you as a king. All right, so all of these things are related, and none of these things are benign. Okay, you can't just say you're voting because you want lower taxes, and that's why you're voting. You don't really believe in it, but you just want lower taxes, and that's still off. Okay, because there's a spiritual meaning behind it. You're legitimizing Satan. Okay, every vote you put in there, you legitimize the hegemony of the satanic rulership that's over us. And the scriptures say what? Come out of her, my people. You're supposed to withdraw from this place. Okay, so if you're thinking about voting, you're in the wrong spirit. You need to repent. Okay, because all hell's getting ready to break loose. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow during the election day or a week after. All right, and I'll do a lesson later, Lord's will, about the 14th Amendment, which they're getting ready to evoke on Trump if he were to win. Okay, because I see it either way. It's going to be hella tension and division. Even if it doesn't break out into violence, the tension is going to be there, where all you got to do is one spark in the room is going to set it all ablaze. Because if Kamala gets in there, they gonna riot, man. Those Trump supporters, they know, because everybody knows that she's way less popular. Okay, that she can't put sentences together, and what she did to get to the top, everybody knows that history. Okay, all right, so I don't see this thing dying down or going backwards. All right. It may not turn up, but I don't see it dying down or going backwards. Okay. Because this is the spirit that we're in. The scriptures say the kingdom of heaven is like a woman in labor, basically. Okay. When those contractions start coming, they come closer and closer together, and they get more and more intense. Okay. Until the baby comes. And that's what's happening right now. And starting in 2020, really before that, but we're here now. So anyway, I'll end it there. Lord willing, this is edifying. Call hello Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rachaha Kwadash Shalom Kwam Yasharallah.